Hi guys, so I'm going to start today by doing a little video about um, facial proportions. I think that that's something that I see a lot of people having trouble with. You don't have to be realistic, but there are some things that we can do to make something look like it makes more sense, right? So to start, there's something that happens a lot, and it's the positioning of the eyes, where people put their eyes. It's usually pretty high up on the head. And it's hard for me to just say, hey, your eyes are too high up on the head without giving you where it should be, right? So all the proportions we're going to talk about today are just kind of like a skeleton baseline. No one is the same. Everybody's proportion is going to be different. But if you're drawing something from your imagination, it's kind of a nice thing to keep in mind, right? So first of all, right, the eye line. Where do you put the eye? Well, you put the eye pretty much. I'm going to draw an eye line here. You put the eye, oh my goodness, make it straight, please. All right, so this is your eye line, right? I need makeup remover now because this is kind of crooked, but you get the point. Ha 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 ha, I'm going to do that. Children, what I don't do for you. Okay, so this is your eye line, yeah? Now I'm going to be really straight and you tell me where it is. So if you look at it, it's about halfway, believe it or not, halfway from the chin to the top of the head. So if you start with a circle and put a line right in the middle, that's your eye line, right? So thinking about that, another problem that happens a lot is, what is the space between the eyes? Now, Miss Jurgensen's eyes are a little bit closer together than usual, but you can still see something here, that the space between the two eyes is pretty much the size of one eye. So if you keep that in mind, and in your skeleton, right? So actually, yeah, no, actually it's pretty good if I actually went on the place I'm supposed to go. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, it's pretty good. You can kind of fit an eye in there. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, you can fit an eye in there, right? So instead of putting like size of the head, right, or really tiny close together, think about that eye that fits in there in the middle, right? So if you think of three balls, good place to start. So you have one ball, one ball, one ball, boom. Three eyes, right? Now everybody's different. Some people are going to be a little more close, like Miss J. Some people are going to be like my four apart, like my daughter. So everybody's going to be a little different, but this is a good skeleton to start, right? Another big pet peeve of mine that I look at, like, oh man, how can he breathe? Is the size of the nose. Everybody likes to make these big eyes, and then all of a sudden the nose looks like a little button in the middle, or a tiny little pyramid. Or noses are hard to draw for most people anyway, because you guys are looking at all of this and you're trying to put lines everywhere. We'll talk about that later. But nose is really interesting. In fact, is bigger than you think. If you make a straight line from the eye down, it hits the corner of the nose. Oh my God, that's not the corner of my eye. Guys, I'm drawing this looking, it's really hard, okay? But you get the point, yeah? If I was perfect, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God! Okay, yeah? Kind of like if you draw a line straight down, boom, corner of nose, yes? From the corner of eyes, you get the corner of nose. And this here, this line, has no use. As you can see, do not make the mouth that small. Lots of people make it tiny little mouth. The person cannot eat or talk very well if the mouth is like this big. Imagine Miss Jurgensen's mouth was the size of the nose. Oh my God, right? Hello, how are you? Can I have a piece of pizza? Nah, not gonna happen. So this is much better, right? Make the mouth bigger. Now, where does the mouth end? Some people say that if you follow the middle of the eye, the exactly middle of the pupil down, you get, oh boy, this thing is not working anymore. This is going to be the weirdest video you have ever watched. And I apologize for that in advance, children. Kinda. If you put a line through, right? You can kind of see that. But again, depends on the person, right? But keep in mind, mouth, bigger than nose. Goes to about the middle of the eye, right? This is looking monstrous. Eye. Beautiful. Okay, so middle of the head, we agree on that. Distance of the eye, straight down, perfect. This is, you know what? I might use for this for Halloween. Okay, my ADD is kicking in. Sorry, children. Okay, children. Now, thinking of the lower half of the circle, yeah? If I cut that in half, it should hit kind of, my God, this is so not straight. It should hit kind of where the nose is. So the bottom of the nose, or the nose hits the bottom, right? Should be right there. I have a big chin, holy cow. Okay, so, and then to find the mouth, you get this area here and split it in half. Big chins are awesome, getting a complex. Okay, so this is it. Oh yeah, this is another thing that really helps you guys is drawing a middle line, right? Why do you draw a middle line? Because unless you're making somebody facing straight at you, you need to know where the point of the nose is and everything. Also, where the hell are you gonna measure the distance between the eyes if you don't have a middle line, right? Like, let's say you start with this beautiful side here, and then you get lost that way. No, the middle line will help you figure out where to fit all these things. Okay, all right, beautiful. So lovely. Okay, so this is kind of basic. Yeah, this is the basic measurements and stuff. Fantastic. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind, when you have these measurements, right, pretending that this is super straight, which is not, if you're going to make somebody facing down, all these curves, check it out, all the curves are going to curve, right? They're going to turn. They're not straight. Often I see people do this, and then they put these straight, 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 and then the eye looks like it's a little cat eye, and the nose looks all funky. If you remember that your face has a shape, right? It's a three-dimensional object, right? People's faces, dragon faces, demon faces, monster faces, they all have that three-dimensional aspect to it, right? So if you think of that, when you're flipping that demon, right, or that person or the dragon or whatever, look what happens to the middle line, how it raises. Your nose now, right, gets out of there. The shape is different. Now, all these lines, which are not really straight, but you can see all the lines, they actually do curve. Same thing if we look up, check it out. They're now curving down, right? So the curve follows. It's too bad that I did not do this very straight, but you get the point, right? If I were drawing this on a perfectly straight circle, which I don't have here, you would see this much better. Yeah? So keep in mind that the lines will curve just like if it was around a ball. I try to tell people, especially with the eyes, think that you're wrapping a ribbon around, right? So if you wrap a ribbon around here and your eye is looking down, your ribbon will be around the same way. And the entrance, the tie point of the ribbon is up here, right? So think of where the tie point is going to be. Now it's lower, right? So where's the tie point of where did the lines connect? Pull them there. One thing that happens a lot is when I tell people about lines originally and they see the movement of the face that they want to make, they kind of go and they keep doing everything straight back, straight back, straight back. Just think of it as really you are following that curve all the way and that object is actually moving. It's hard at first, but it's really worth it. So without further ado, and without taking out my beautiful makeup and with the glasses on because, you know, just completes the look, I want to show you guys here how I would start drawing something that, let's see, that I want to draw. So a little pause for coffee. Ah! Okay, so life is good again. We are going to start our skeleton of our face, right? Just simply very, very lightly drawing an oval. I'm going to draw an oval here. And then I'm going to try to put those proportions that we learned about in this oval. First of all, I'm going to cut it in the middle very lightly. See how light I'm being? No, I'm being that light, guys, because I want that to be gone in the end. Gone. Now, I'm going to do this very, very frontal, very, very freaky like. Oh, is that about the middle? Oh, a little bit of adjustment here, actually. Because I am on Photoshop, I can totally cheat and lower my line. Ha, 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 ha. Lower the line a little bit here, so that's more in the middle. Okay, and we continue. Oh, forgot to deselect. Continue doing this. Awesome. So now I have this is about in the middle, right? I'm going to cut this one in half as well. And here, guys, I'm going to cut in half again. What are you doing, Miss Jurgensen? You will see, child. You will see. Actually, I kind of did this here, didn't I? I already forgot. Coffee's kicking in. Don't worry. So from here, I know my nose is going to be here. I know my eyes is going to be here, right? First of all, I'm going to create my eyes. Now, I want this person to have gigantic eyes. So that eye is almost a little too big. No, it's not. Actually, it's going to be perfect. 1, 2, distance there, right? Little eye there. This is going to be awesome and gigantic. So this is my skeleton, right? Actually, I'm going to put a little sheet of paper on top of my tablet because it makes it so much easier. Oh, that is good. Okay, cool. So I have this. I'm going to trace down 2 lines here very lightly, right, all the way down. Now, you see how this whole top of the head here, how it gives space for the cranium, right? For the smart stuff, the brain and things like that. I mean, some of these drawings that I see, they just look like there's no way that person is thinking. There's nothing there, right? So there you go. You now have a brain. Okay, so here I'm going to kind of draw just the size of the noses, the size of the nose. And that's something people always make so small, right? But see how it kind of looks balanced and good? This is a little bit too low, actually, now that I look at it. I'm just going to raise it to here. The middle line is more like there. So that will be my middle line. That's kind of where I want my mouth to be in the center, right? So mouths are really cool. We're going to do another video just on mouths, but mouths, they basically, the skin that we see on all of us, right? It's covering a bunch of muscles and stuff, and fat pockets and all sorts of things. So the mouth has 3 really important structures that if you catch those right, then you make a really cool mouth. So 1, 2, 3. So these 3 structures, right? They make like basically a bump here and 2 bumps here. These 2 bumps here, I'm gonna zoom in, because right now I'm drawing this so small that I'm getting lost. Okay, cool. So, right? So this bump here, right? It actually will look, it's kind of like if you squish three marbles together, or not marbles, 3 of something together, 3 squishy things. Think of something. Yes, blueberry, thank you. So you squish 3 blueberries together, right? And then you have that squishy thing there. And that's really important to catch. Now you see what's happening here. I forgot to measure where the mouth should end. That would really help me because I'm making a teeny tiny mouth, I see. So it's kind of like here and here. Oh, that's too big of a mouth for me. So this is my adjustment now. It's not really where the mouth should end. Usually it's where the line of smile would end. So let me make this a little bit bigger. And there you go. So that will be kind of like my dark area, whatever. We'll pretend that it's good. So here we go, right? The smooth line. So these 3 shapes here, right, kind of create your structure. Little bit of a dip there because you're circling, right, the area around. So this is kind of cool. And then, right, you can kind of lighten up the center a teeny bit. I don't like to erase much when I'm sketching. If you get everything very, very light, you shouldn't have to. This part here that makes the philtrum, right? The part that makes the philtrum is called the Cupid's arch, and it's different for everybody. So some people who have a Cupid's arch that's very pronounced, like very much like this. Some people who have a Cupid's arch that's more like that. Mine is almost non-existent. It's kind of funny, but you know, you can play with that and you can do whatever you want with it. Just a side note. All right, so we got our skeleton here, right? The chin is interesting because it really depends on what you want to do. I think I want my chin to be a little bit longer, right? The ear is usually like if you do a straight line from the eye. Don't know if you can see my video. Let me switch this here, guys, because that's also important. So straight line from the eyes. The top of the ear, if I'm looking frontal, right, the top of the ear is almost lined up with my eye, right? Kind of. So So let's try that. Gonna make the top of my ear just above the iotine a little bit, right? And we have like now an ear there. And the bottom of the ear, that's the cool thing. Bottom of the ear, it's usually lined up with the nose really nicely. Not with this because I kind of went crazy with the drawing. Oh my gosh, this is really bad. Okay, so bottom of the ear lined up with the nose. I kind of underdid it here. Again, ears, some are tiny, some are huge. Varies, everything varies. This is just a skeleton. What do I usually do? If I'm copying this from something that is real, I zoom into an eye, right? And I'm going to perfect that eye, make it really nice, and then I'm going to double measure everything from that eye out. I'm creating a new layer so that I can then tone my second layer down. So you kind of, you know what? You're kind of getting a 2-for-1 here. You're getting a little bit of digital work and a little bit of, also guys, since I'm going to do this, always label your layers. So sketch, background, line work, so you know where you are, right? Okay. Back to fast forward. Okay, now, for the sake of time, I'm going to cheat and copy this eyeball, because haha, I can. Now guys, this only works if you're doing this and it's exactly a frontal view, right? In Photoshop, you can do this. You can copy the structure, and then I would paint it separately because then it gets a little weird. But the baseline, why not, right? Make life easier. So I'm going to merge these two together so I still have the same layer, one layer. Okay, the nose now. And that's it for noses, you guys. I find, like, for as far as line work goes, right? I find that what happens, I'm going to show you here a new layer. What happens a lot is this. You guys are doing this and this a lot. Lots of people still do this, right? Although you see these structures, and I'm really thankful that you are seeing these structures, they are not line structures, right? They don't deserve a line. These are shading structures, and you only need to do them very lightly with shading. Once you put line down dark like that, or some people still do this, all sorts of strange things that happen with the nose. The nose is hard because it looks so structural, but it's actually one of the easiest things to draw in the face. You can do a nose with 4 lines, really. 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. Okay, so think about that when you are doing your face. Okay, so I left these lines intentionally missing, you guys, on the mouth, because if I draw the whole line around, the only time where you see the whole line very clearly the line is if the person is using lipstick, right? So very often these lines will blur into the face. There is no real line. So we got to watch out for that. So this is just something for you to, keep in mind. So what did I add here? I added a stronger jawline. Found a photo that I liked, had a stronger jawline. Kind of added that. Now this is looking a little bit like jowls. Got to be careful. If they point down too much, they'll start looking like jowls, right? So you want it a little bit less pointing down, but still strong jawline. It's kind of nice, right? Why not? So these are all the modifications, right? I also found this photo has a little bit more of a chin. Okay, why not? This is the fun part, is where you start making your drawing yours, right? So, okay, I'm going to, the ears are on a good spot here. This here, guys, this little extra is actually where the hair is, where the hair goes, right? So the ear's in a good spot. I like it. I'm gonna put the ear there. And ending on kind of where I have it too. It's good. Okay, awesome. And just gonna, you know, simply just draw something there just to say, hey, ear. Hey, bump. Awesome. I don't even know. Every ear is different. Then, because I don't really want to draw that again, I'm a copy, paste. One of the cool things about drawing digitally, I think, is that you have a lot of flexibility in terms of using um, the image again if you want, right? I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Erase a little extra there that I see, right? See, am I lost? No, it's actually, this is great. Merge down. There, now I have a nice little line work starting to look cool. And if you're doing this by hand, it's just going to take you a little longer, but you can still do it, right? You can still kind of, because this is all by hand. The only thing I did was copy the eye and copy the ear, but you can still do it, right? It's fine. Now eyebrows. Eyebrows, right, usually start from around a little bit inner or around the end. Don't put the eyebrows here ever, okay, guys, because that looks really strange. Always towards the center of the eyes. Some of them connect, and then you get the famous unibrow that Frida Kahlo was so famous for. So this is where it's going to start. If you think of how a feather is made, right, that's how I think of an eyebrow. So I'm just going to put the center of the feather here very lightly. Opa. Wrong layer, Miss Jurgensen. Why am I working on my line work? Okay, so on my sketch layer, I'm going to put this very lightly where I think this feather should be, and I'm not going to make a copy of it on the other one because I like creating them individually, because every eyebrow is individual. You actually have one eyebrow that is evil and one that is nice, so it's kind of nice to make them individually. And so you're going to start feathering this, right? Feathering it in just like a feather, feathering it in, feather, feather, feather. They're all unique. Don't make it all weird and all the same. I should pull up a good photo because I'm not making it out of my head. And when we make things out of our head, sometimes we tend to make things a little too even, and I just love uneven things. So uneven weird things. All right, so I'm here. I'm actually doing pretty good. It's all right. Some up, some down, some crazy. And just I'm gonna lay this all. This is a cool thing. On the edge, this happens. On the very corner here, this usually happens. There's some hair that comes from the top. Oh my gosh, that's way too much, but that's okay. Woo! Somebody needs to get plucking. And all right, there we go. Up, 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 up. And down too, because coming out from there. And that part gets a little darker there, right? Starting to kind of form, kind of get where I'm coming from. This area in the center is usually pretty dark, so you can go over it with a little more abandon, right? So yeah, if you turn off the sketch, you can see that that kind of looks like a, well, a very boring eyebrow. Oh my God, this has no curve. But you know, you can continue. Maybe add a little more of a curve. Should have probably planned that better, or made it a little smaller to begin with, but that's okay. You know, we're learning. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, so the other side. The other side, same idea, right? And coffee break. Okay, so what do we got here? Now we have turning off the sketch, right? Or in your case, if you have an eraser, you would kind of erase some of these lines, and you would have something like this, which is a little bit more realistic, although I think I should probably fix the hairline a little bit because she looks a little creepy. So let's do that. Who has that hairline? You know what? This is a work in progress. You guys get it, right? Yes, I love you guys. Awesome. So, okay. A little more real. Proportions are good. I think this is awesome. And I'm going to stop here. Do another video for shading it.